Hello everyone, and today I am feeling a little bit nostalgic for Bloons TD5 because Bloons TD5 was the oldest or rather the longest lasting Bloons TD game in the franchise, and I kind of love it back in the old days. So I kind of want to relive the memory, except this time I want to try out CHIMPS using Bloons TD5 Towers in Bloons TD6. Yes, this is going to be very weird. Yes, you guys might find a sense of familiarity, but let's just jump right into it and see what the difference between the two are, because it's going to be fascinating. Now, because you're playing on CHIMPS, obviously powers and monkey knowledges are disabled, everyone knows that. But even if this wasn't CHIMPS, let's say I want to play a hard mode on this, I would have disabled those either way, because monkey knowledge just wasn't a thing in Bloons TD5. And powers, well, they're all different in Bloons TD5 in terms of both strength and in terms of what powers they actually have. So to keep things fair, I decided to disable both of them. Not like I use powers anyway. So in case you guys are curious what towers we have, these are all the towers that we have. Now unfortunately, I could not add the Bloon Chipper in because Ninja Kiri decided that the Bloon Chipper kind of sucks. So rest in peace, Bloon Chipper. You will be sorely missed. But outside of that, if you're wondering what crosspaths we have, I'm going to show them all on screen right now. I think the explanations for all these crosspaths are pretty obvious. If they're shown up in Bloons TD5, I will add them here. So yeah, that's about it. Those towers that looks like they're unrestricted means that well, they're not here, because all towers have restrictions. Because we're playing on CHIMPS, this means that we can't actually generate money in here, and honestly that's fine. So what can we do in order to beat CHIMPS with what is essentially tier 4 towers for the most part? Because most players find it difficult to beat CHIMPS without tier 5 towers. However, a majority of these towers, except for the Way of Doom, is all tier 4 towers. So let's get ourselves a little bit more challenge. Let's not use or rather end up getting the Way of Doom. No, we're not going to do that. Let's see how we could beat this with what is essentially just tier 4 towers, because it's going to be interesting. Yeah, I should have unlocked the Glaive Lord as well, but then again, that feels like cheating, so even then I won't use the Glaive Lord. So speaking of which, let's actually go with a boomerang start. I'm thinking we could go with a 302 at the very least. Now, obviously, the bottom half back in the old days, it didn't pop 2 layers. All it did was allow you to pop lead balloons. But you know what? We need to pop lead balloons either way. So I think we're going to go with that as well. And actually, it's probably best if we get it early on. And we died. Okay, maybe this placement is better. Hopefully it is. Oh, that was worse. So maybe we don't go with a boomerang start. That's fine. Let's go with a simple dark monkey start then. Since, you know, is classic Bloons territory. So what I'm thinking is we could go for a simple triple shot. I'm not sure about going for top path, bottom path, but frankly I think that going for the top path might be slightly better, because as for dealing with camel balloons, I'm sure there's a way for us to eventually deal with them. And we already leak. Wow, okay, what a great start. You know what was my favorite tower in Bloons TD5 though? The Engineer Monkey. Not only because it's new, but because of its top path. So let's go ahead and experiment with it a little bit, or at the very least use it as a starting tower. Actually, why is selling enabled? This is CHIMPS. You're not supposed to be able to sell. Let's fix that real quick. Okay, there we go. Now there's no selling. So hopefully, let's try and go with the top path for the time being, because it's just more towers, and towers are fun, right? Okay, there we go. We now got ourselves a 200 engineer, which is pretty good for the most part. So what I'm thinking is now we could go with a middle path buccaneer that is probably supported with some form of anti-camo, because the middle path buccaneer is relatively strong for such a tower. So at least for the start. Normally the middle path tower would be extremely strong because of its tier 5, but we're limited to its tier 4, so we just gotta work around that. That's fine as well. So what I'm thinking is we can just go ahead and just start with a middle path tier 4 tower. Sorry, a middle path tier 4 buccaneer, and we'll see how that goes. So actually, you know what? I might go with a bottom path rather than a top path, since it's not going to see much use, especially later on. So this tower would really help, especially for the early game camo. Alright, and we can get ourselves a monkey pirate by round 35, which should actually make the rest of the game for the time being relatively easy. So what could we get next that could possibly help us? Now, in my opinion, the only way for us to get far is to go with Tech Tower spam, because the other towers, they aren't as powerful. I mean, I suppose you can get Apache that shit, but then your problem will be DDTs. So the most reliable of which would be Tech Tower, and not to mention you get to use his ability, which I think is pretty cool all in all. So we're going to do just that. We're going to save up for a bunch of Tech Towers, and we'll see how this goes. Obviously, we have to support this with Camo later on, but we don't have to for now. Now, the great thing about the Robo Monkey in Bloons TD6 is that it grants critical shots, which is what you see here. Critical shots are not a thing that exists in Bloons TD5, but in Bloons TD6, critical shots allows you to deal much more damage to Bloons basically. Especially for both Ceramic and White class Bloons, so they'll be really helpful, especially later on. So let's go ahead and get ourselves Plasma Blast, and we're going to sell. Actually, before you sell for Tech Tower, let's actually give it some camo detection after you get Plasma Blast, because we can let this wait for a little while, and then we'll finally get ourselves a Tech Tower. And voila, we can get ourselves a Tech Tower by round 59. And if you look at our village Crosspath, the most that I could actually get is Jungle Drums, and we've actually dealt with that BFB relatively easily, but that's not the real problem here, because the real problem will be dealing with Super Ceramics and of course Purple Bloons as well, because that's the thing we have to deal with. Now, one of the few towers that still has all of its tier 4s up is the Monkey Ace, because back then Operation Darkstorm and Ground Zero were combined as one path, and Spectre was a completely separate path. So in essence, they are both the same tower, and they are extremely powerful with their own rights. Now, obviously, Operation Darkstorm did not have the anti-Moab missiles, but still, I think it will help us quite a lot. Now, Apache that ship could also help us in theory. It's also another really strong tower that also has global range, but for our purposes, I still think that Spectre would be much more better. So we're going to try and get a Spectre over here, and since it's within range of the Camo Village, we're going to just place it here, and we're going to get ourselves a top path 204 Spectre. Okay, voila, we can get ourselves a Spectre by round 78, which is not too bad, but round 80 is going to be a massive problem for us because of Super Ceramics. Now, Super Ceramics were not a thing in Bloons TD5, and Super Ceramics are problematic because well, they have a lot more health, and actually half the health of one regular Moab class Bloons, and because they move way faster, there's actually more of a nuisance. The only upside with Super Ceramics is that they don't spawn a lot of true ones. So while they're spawning 2 of each Bloon, it only spawns 1, but that's still relatively problematic. And actually, I'm honestly kind of surprised that we've done quite okay so far. So we'll see how long this could last us, but I still think there are ways for us to make this better. So what I'm curious is how this defense will hold against round 90, because in essence, our only defense is essentially just Spectre and our Super Monkey, and it seems like that is where our problems begin. Okay, so how do we go ahead and deal with those DDTs? Now, I'm wondering if the problem could possibly just be the bombs, because you know, they don't affect DDTs that much due to, you know, bombs doesn't have black popping power, which DDTs have. So I'm wondering what happens if we get MIB, especially for the next round. Would that help us out? Let's find out. So there should be more DDTs coming our way, and well, here they are. How much stronger is it? It seems to be actually doing slightly better. I think that's a good start, but I think we could make things a little bit better. So how about we get ourselves an embrittlement, so, you know, make our life easier. And well, if that's not enough, I suppose we can always go with an aircraft carrier with grape shot. I don't think getting hot shots would be that useful, especially since we already have MIB. And honestly, I don't think we have to spend that much anymore to finish out the rest of the game. So let's see how we deal against round 95. And here's a bunch of DTs, and we are doing actually okay against them, surprisingly. Wow, okay, I didn't even have to activate the Tech Tower ability, so that's actually pretty awesome. Okay, now here's what everyone is wondering. Well, how about round 98? If I don't use the Tech Towers ability, mostly because I want to save it for round 99. Are we able to defeat this without touching literally anything? I'm not even going to touch the Paradox ability. So far, it seems that we're in a slight amount of trouble, but it seems that we're doing okay. Oh. Okay, enemy finally died. Okay, that's okay, that's a bit disappointing. So even embrittlement isn't good enough to help us a little bit, but we got more options on our side. For example, we could get ourselves a ninja and go with a middle path Bloons Sabotage and ninja discipline, because why not? So I'm going to use Bloons Sabotage to help us slow down the balloons by a bit. Now since you only got it this one, it's going to take a while for it to recharge, but oops, I pressed the wrong hotkey. But now that we have Bloons Sabotage active, it should help slow down the balloons and therefore allows to pop it more often. Although I would say that Tech Tower ability did help sort of a little bit. Actually, it might be the Tech Tower ability that help us out. Should I use it again? Yeah, I'll probably use it again. But this means that Tech Tower ability won't be out for round 99. So now here comes a question. Can we survive 945 DETs without the Tech Tower ability? But I might actually have to slow things down a little bit. But it seems like our answer is just barely. I think we pretty much needed the ninja ability, otherwise we would have died. But here's round 100 without activating any abilities. The badge should be popping soon, right? Okay, let's activate the ability right now. Let's slow things down with the ninja ability, and voila, I think we did it. There we go. This was not too difficult after all. I could have spent more money. Obviously, this could have been improved way better, but in terms of beating a CHIMPS game with just Bloons TD5 Towers, I think it was pretty interesting overall. So, yeah, this was a pretty fun challenge. Although I must say, there are a lot more things I could do to make things harder, but we've done it either way. So if you guys want to try the challenge for yourself, it's up on the challenge browser. Here's the challenge code. Here it is, and you guys can try out for yourself, because this is not the only solution there is. There's a lot of different ways for you to go about completing this challenge, and hopefully you guys have fun, because this is quite fun for me, and I hope you guys have some fun too with this challenge. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a like if you like this video, leave a comment if you want to add on anything else, and I'll see you guys in the next video.